Chetty Bobby. Welcome to Wrasslin with Big E and the PODCAst, tag champs of the whole world, slamming like a DDT. Got it like just like a figure four. Hulk Hogan, all they do is flex. Talking wrestling while they get the dough. Off the top like a superplex. Think they letting up? Hell no. Dusty Rose with the elbow. From the corner like a stinging splash straight to the face. I know you felt those. Hey, y'all crying out for help though. Rising up like the dead man. About to go upside your head like Stone Cold with the bedpan. Bottom line, if you want the facts, welcome to Wrasslin where you need to be. Chetty Bobby, this show improved like John Cena, you ain't seeing me. Bottom line, if you want the facts, welcome to Wrasslin where you need to be. Chetty Bobby, this show improved like John Cena, you ain't seeing me. Yeah.
Hey, welcome to Wrasslin with them Wrasslin boys on the POT, alongside my tag team partner Big E, and we're here to bring you another episode of premium wrestling content. What's going on, bro?
What you say, brother? We back, episode 81, impromptu, episode 81. T.O. Terrell Owens.
Yeah, Calvin Johnson.
Megatron. There's some bad names right there. And
I got a few more.
You had one that didn't want to let go, and the other one stayed that let it go way before his time was over.
Right?
Yeah.
You got Torrey Holt of the greatest show on turf, and then you got the legendary Art Monk with Three Amigos of the Washington Redskins back in the 80s, the Joe Gibbs and Joe Theismann and Doug Williams and all of that those days, you know. Then they won like 3 Super Bowls in the 80s, so you know.
Yeah. Hey man, it's welcome to Wrasslin. Real quick, y'all know we got some merch. Go to prowrestlingtees.com/welcome to Wrasslin. Pick you up a shirt. Got 3 designs, more to come. But yeah, man, pick you up a shirt. But
my shirt.
prowrestlingtees.com/welcome to Wrasslin. Hey man, we got us a guest on the line, finna bring him in. Michael Youngblood, former, maybe coming back professional wrestler. Did some MMA, jiu-jitsu. I know he's worked in WWE, TNA. I'm gonna let him give his own accolades because I don't want to short him. But yeah, man, let's bring in Michael Youngblood, man. Mike, what's going on, baby?
Man, I'm sitting here at the house. I'm just chilling, and been a productive day as usual. And how you guys doing?
Man, we hanging in there. We hanging in there.
Yeah, great vibes, man. Great vibes.
Yes, sir. Yeah, always got to have great vibes, baby.
Give you a chance to give us your accolade. Tell us your background, who trained you, and then we'll get into the reason why we're here.
All right. You want from A to Z real quick, or?
Do your thing, bro. Yeah, A to Z.
Yeah.
Cliff Notes version, if you will, whatever.
All right, I got you. Yeah, you know, it started at an early age. My dad worked for Jim Crockett Promotions back in the late 70s, early 80s. Okay. And so I really wasn't introduced to pro wrestling until about 80, 81. You know, I'd seen it on TV and stuff like that, but, you know, I wasn't knowledgeable to what was really going on because, I'm a child at the time, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So, yeah. So it all started about 81. I went to my first wrestling event. My grandmother took me to an event my dad was helping put together. And first wrestling match I ever saw was Roddy Piper versus the Great Kabuki.
Wow.
Yeah, man. And I instantly fell in love at 4 or 5 years old with the business. And I didn't know at the time my dad was involved in it. I didn't know till some years later, maybe about 6 or 7, 8 years old, somewhere in that neighborhood, that my dad was helping put these promotions for Jim Crockett together through the JCs. The JCs was a instrumental part of my dad getting involved in it because my dad hated wrestling. Always, you know. And then he hated it even more when he found out they were full of shit, so he puts it. And but you know, growing up around it, seeing it, being able to be around it, like Dusty Rhodes, being around Tully Blanchard, Ric Flair, Rock and Roll Express, you know, you get to be around all these guys all the time. Ivan Koloff was an instrumental part of my family because he was friends with my dad. Even though my dad didn't like the business, he was friends with a lot of them. And he used to go, he used to go golfing with Sandy Scott. So, and it just ballooned from there. And I felt like I said, I fell in love with the business. And I said, well, if I want to do this, and I knew at that time, I said, I'd like to do this one day. Because these guys were like bigger than life. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah, they were bigger than life. So to me, they were comic book characters, but in real life. So I got into amateur wrestling at about 6, 7 years old. And it went from amateur wrestling to karate. And then from karate, about 14 years old, I got involved in jiu-jitsu before jiu-jitsu was ever on the map. And I fell in love with Brazilian jiu-jitsu, and amateur wrestling was my thing to begin with. That's what I excelled at. I excelled at both. But most of my accolades, as far as like real life stuff, I am a Tar Heel State Classic, 3-time Tar Heel State Classic champion. 171 pounds. I won twice back to back. And then I won it the third year at 189 pounds. And that's in the record books. I mean, that's unheard of for one guy to win that many championships back to back.
Right. Damn.
Yeah. And
Two different weight classes.
Right. And I was, you know, I don't boast or brag, but I was good. I was good. But it just, I fell in love with jiu-jitsu more. And as time progressed, I wanted to learn more and more. So I went to these camps, and my parents sent me to these jiu-jitsu camps. And they were like in California, they were in New York, you know, they were in Michigan, just many different places. And I started learning the grappling game early, like early, jiu-jitsu grappling, different ball game from amateur wrestling. But the amateur wrestling pretty much paved the way for me to get in jiu-jitsu. It made it that much easier. It was easy to me to wrestle. Hard as hell to do jiu-jitsu. Hard as hell to do jiu-jitsu as far as conditioning.
Okay.
Yes, a different type of conditioning. And you'd have to do it to understand it. And that's how it all started. And I got invited in 1994 when I turned pro, like WWE pro. Well, let me go back a little bit. The way I got into pro wrestling, because I always wanted to do it from a child up, was Abby knew my mom and dad. And he said, look, I can get your son into pro wrestling. He said, but he's got to go to Ivan's school. My parents were like, well, we know Ivan.
Right.
Yeah. So
and real quick, for those of you who don't know, Abby is Abdullah the Butcher.
Right.
Abdullah
the Butcher. And there's a backstory to Abby and how I met him too. So I've known Abby since I was a baby. Never knew he was a wrestler either until years later. He was a businessman. He always said, I'm a businessman. He never claimed to be a wrestler.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Always remember that. I'm a businessman first. So anyway, long story short, I got invited to go try out for the national team, U.S. national team. And I had 2 tryouts with them. First time, I did not make the team. I got cut off the rip. I mean, there was people like Kurt Angle there, Dana Womack. Oh God, the guy that Rock did the movie about.
Mark Kerr. Mark Kerr was there.
Mark Kerr was there.
Okay.
Mark Kerr was there. He was there both times I went. I didn't make the cut first time. Second time I went back, which was in '96, I made it.
Okay.
Well,
that's Olympic year.
Yeah.
I made I made it on the team. On the team. A week into training, I tore my hamstring.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Mm.
So, when you tear a hamstring, it's like tearing. It's like having your aorta replaced in your heart.
Mm.
You're not coming back. You're not doing nothing else.
Right.
Because a hamstring supports your whole body, your whole torso. And so I went back to training. I tried and tried and tried. It just wasn't working. And in wrestling, they on the legs, they take them legs out first. They try to anyway.
Shoot.
Yeah, shoot. And that's pretty much what ended my legitimate wrestling career. We'll go back a step. I started training. I was already refereeing in '92, just independent stuff.
Okay.
I got to be around Michael.
What state are we in?
So, I'm sorry?
What state are you in doing the refereeing and stuff?
All over the East Coast.
Okay.
I was all over the East Coast. I was 16 when I got in the wrestling business.
Okay.
I was 16. And I was refereeing guys like Jimmy Garvin, Michael Hayes. The Freebirds, Firebreaker Chip.
Firebreaker Chip. Wow.
Yeah, the Ring Lords. God, who else did I work with? Too many to name. Robert Gibson. That's when I met Robert around the time.
Okay.
So I got to referee rock and roll. I got because the woman one referee on those independents. That was whoever it was. That was who was doing those 6 or 7 matches.
Right. Okay. Right.
And that's primarily I met Robert I met Robert for the first time in '85.
Okay.
But properly introduced and him being around me every day was in '94 up until he had me come work for him in Tuscaloosa, Alabama in 1999.
Roll time.
Yeah, because Robert got me in Japan. The first time I ever wrestled in Japan, Robert's the one that put the word in. And Leilani Kai also.
Leilani Kai, wow.
Leilani Kai, Robert Gibson said, look, this kid can go. Sign him up, book him. And I went. That was in my USO, my first ever USO tour. Okay. That's different from like going to work for All Japan, New Japan, Noah. Totally different. This is for the armed services. I was a contract athlete through the Department of Defense to go wrestle overseas, bringing American entertainment to the military troops.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, big, totally different ball game from Japan wrestling.
Yeah.
But the actual first time that I went to Japan, I went for All Japan Wrestling, and that was for Abby. That was in '97.
Okay.
So we'll get those. Want to put that in order.
Yeah.
Anyway, I trained for Ivan. Ivan started training me. It was in September of '93. I graduated. Let me take it back. Yeah, September of '93. And I graduated April of '94. A week after graduating, he called me and said, come to the school. So I went up to the school. He's like, went to his little office area. This is an Indian Trail, by the way. It's an Indian Trail, North Carolina, where the wrestling school is at.
Okay.
And he said, Mike, he said, look, you graduated ahead of your class. I didn't want to send just anybody to work for this company. And he said, I chose you because of your background, because that's what they look at. At that time, that's what they looked at, your background.
Right.
He said, and he never told me who I was going to work for. He said, you're just going to go wrestle for this company. I got you a flight. I got $1,500. Do with it as you please. I'm like, all right.
Right.
I'm 17 at the time now.
Yeah,
right.
15 is a lot more back then than what it is now, too.
I'm 17 years old at the time.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm going to say it was Bushkill, Pennsylvania, because we had 2 shots. I had to go to Bushkill, Pennsylvania, So I flew from Charlotte to Bushkill. And I remember like it was yesterday, the guy that picked me up in a Lincoln Town car.
Mm.
And as I was coming down the escalator or the steps that go down the escalator, they had my name up there. Yeah. I'm not gonna say my real name, but anyway. And I said, yeah, that's me. That's me right here, right here. He said, come on, we're in a rush, you're late. I'm like, oh fuck, I'm late. Well, all right. So anyway, he gets me in the Lincoln Town car, he hauls ass. I mean, this guy's hauling ass like 80, 90 miles an hour.
Damn.
And gets me right about maybe a mile from the building. And it's open. This is the mountain area, by the way. And where we were coming down from the airport, you could see this huge ass fucking building. It's huge.
Mm.
But I couldn't make out what it was. But as we got closer, I started seeing these big ass tractor trailer trucks.
Whoa.
And I said, I've never seen this at a wrestling match before. And so we pull in, go into the place, parking garage. It didn't say WWF.
Right.
It was just plain old 18-wheelers.
Right.
But when I get to the door, at that time they checked you, make sure you didn't have no guns and all that bullshit, and you were who you were. Your name's on the list, and you sign off on it.
Right.
So the first guy at the door was Howard Finkel, and I looked at him, and it just dawned on me.
World Challenger.
I said, "Holy fuck! This is the WWF."
Wow.
Yeah, and so I had no clue. I had no clue where I was going, who I was working for. And man, it went from, I had 2 appearances, which is same night, Sunday night, Monday night, Bushkill, Pennsylvania. One was a home Coliseum video shoot. Second night was a Monday Night Raw. And then Pat Patterson and Tony Gurria, Rene Goulet pulled me to the side, and Sergeant Slaughter, who was my pay guy, he paid me. Excuse me. They pulled me to the side and said, Mike, they called me Misha. My nickname's Misha. And Sergeant Slaughter said, Misha, he said, you want to go to Youngstown, Ohio? Like, when? Yeah. He said, tomorrow. He said, you got to be there tomorrow. He said, well, we'll get you there. Don't worry about it. And it just went from 2 nights to 3 nights to 4 nights, 5, so forth, so on.
Man, that's dope.
Yeah, I did 192 shows with those guys from 94 to 96.
Okay. And you got there with the clique.
Yeah, I was around everybody.
Yeah. BSK.
Yeah. And it just, it didn't quite register until In Your House. They had an In Your House pay-per-view. I want to say it was In Your House, some kind of damn pay-per-view they're having. And it didn't register till then that I had made it. But I still wasn't on that level of a star.
No.
I've never been a star. Go ahead and put that out there. But I performed with all the stars. And at that time, I'd wrestled all those guys. All of them. And a lot of people ask me, I don't know if you guys know this, but a lot of times when I do podcasts, they say, is it true you got to win over a WWF world champion? I'm like, how the fuck does he know that? Because it was home Coliseum shit. And I said, yeah, it's true. I got to win over a world champion, which is Bob Backlund.
I was just about to guess that. Man.
How it came about was Bob had already pulled my resume that Ivan had sent in to Sarge, and or I don't know if it was a Sarge or somebody. It was somebody in office, and he said, so I hear you're a real wrestler. And I was like, yes, sir. Yeah, I was so scared. He said, I was scared to death. And I said, yes, sir. And he said, we're gonna find out. So he and I was like, oh fuck. So anyway, he took me down to the ring. That was on a Monday. That was on I said, what day was that? Monday, Tuesday. That was on Tuesday. Yeah. And so that day we got to the building. I got to the building early, like 10:30 in the morning. and I had to check in with whoever was there. I think Renee Goulet's who I checked in with.
Okay.
Renee said, look, just relax, chill, be quiet, do what you're told. Yes, sir. Anyway, I'm sitting there, and I sat there maybe 3-4 hours, and Bob comes and sees me, walks by me, and he said, man, you got an appointment. I said, oh, shit. He said, let me go brush my teeth. I'll be right back. Well, he stayed gone an hour. And I'm dressed already in my little sweats and my boots and everything, and I'm nervous as fuck. And he said, come on, I'm ready. And he wasn't nowhere in sight, but I could hear him say, come on, I'm ready. But I knew it was his voice. I'm like, what the fuck? So I stand up and walk around, and he's peeping around the fucking corner, talking to me, fucking with me. And so I'm following the voice.
Right.
And so he's in the shower. And he's ready to go too, right? So I get to the fucking shower, and he grabs me. He says, hey, kid.
Oh, shit.
He grabs me. He says, hey, kid, don't come in here when you're alone. I'm like, what the fuck? He says, a lot of dirty shit goes on up here. Don't come in here alone. Years later, I figure out what the fuck he was talking about. We won't talk about that anyway.
I was about to say he was being dead serious though.
Yeah, he's serious.
Wow.
He called me. He said, and all that stuff. And he was like, how long you been, wrestling? I told him not long. I said, I just started here, this is my first week. He's like, well, can you really go? Can you shoot? I didn't even know what fucking shoot meant.
Right.
I had no idea what the fuck that meant. And I'm like, I know how to shoot a gun. And he said, well, similar, but not quite. And he says, shoot means hook, snug, tight. He said, you want to make it look real. And he smartened me up and taught me.
Right. Okay.
He said, that's not pro wrestling. He said, pro wrestling's entertainment. We don't want to hurt each other, but we will make it look like as real as possible. He said, tonight, when you wrestle me, I had no clue I was wrestling him until he talked to me. He said, we've got an angle with Brett that we're trying to do. We're trying to get it over, and we tried to get it over with other guys, and unfortunately, we've been unable to do it because these guys are green, like super green.
Right.
He said, so that's why I'm pulling you in the ring. He said, you're the first one I've done this with. And he says, I just want to see what you're capable of doing. He had me run the ropes and chain wrestle a little bit. And he said, now let's shoot. I said, all right. So we started fucking shooting like amateur wrestling.
Yeah.
And he couldn't do shit with me.
You started using badass.
He couldn't do shit with me. And I caught a little heat. I caught a little heat with that later on. Now he did hook me a few times and hurt. He didn't try to hurt me, but he let me know.
He Bob Backlund.
Right. He let me know I can fuck you up.
Yeah.
And I think he let me try to. I think he did that because he wanted to see what I knew.
Okay.
And he wanted to see if I'd test him or how safe I would be in that aspect. And I was shooting, but I wasn't shooting.
I got you.
If I got him on his back, I let him up.
Right.
Cross face him and earn that bullshit. Grab a, real wrestling. Amateur wrestling, you're not going to grab a Hulk like wrestling.
Right.
Different ballgame. You can, but I wasn't trying to do that. I was just trying to show him what I knew.
Right.
And I was scared, man. You got to understand, I'm 17 years old. I'm getting paid $250 a day, regardless if I work or not. Sometimes I get a little more, $350, $400, depending on who was paying, who was dishing out the cash is what I'm saying. 9 times out of 10, it was Sarge. Other times it was Briscoe, Jerry.
Mr. McMahon.
They were all good. They were all nice to me. They were all good to me, but they knew I wasn't smart.
Right.
They weren't going to help me. I had to learn.
Right.
They weren't going to help me unless I asked. And so, and I never talked to them. I was too scared to ask.
Yeah.
And maybe if I had asked when I didn't know something or didn't know how to do something, maybe I'd have went a little farther during that 2-year stint. I was just young, man. I was a kid. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. Literally. Like
Yeah.
literally.
Let me ask you this, and I don't want this to sound disrespectful at all.
No, good.
But do you think like Ivan kind of threw you into the fire by not telling you where you were going and like not smarting you up to a couple of things? Was that to like get you to grow up, or was that just what they did? Or
well, years later, he told me, so the reason I fed you to the wolves was to teach you.
okay,
yeah.
Okay. So there was something behind it. It wasn't like he just didn't. Like I wasn't trying to be disrespectful. I was just asking. So
no. Yeah. He did it because he wanted me to learn the hard way. Because he didn't grow up in the business. I did.
Right.
He didn't grow up in the business. He was a fan first and foremost.
Yeah.
I grew up watching. I can't think of the guys' names that were his idols, his heroes. Ivan loved wrestling, man. I miss him every day.
I remember seeing him for the first time, like of course, I like seeing him in real life, and this was like in 2009. So these are his later years.
Yeah,
and he had his wife there. It was at the NWA Legend Fan Fest in Charlotte.
Yeah,
and he walked
Renee or Vicky because he's been married 3 times.
I couldn't tell you that now, but but his interaction with everybody would come say hey to him. You could tell that everybody wanted to speak to him. And I'm talking about the boys. I'm not talking about all the fans. Of course, the fans did, and he just walked around and smiled the whole time, and it was like, because you knew how tough he was when you watched him, but to see him in that later years where they're just, you could tell he done got a little bit shorter and things of that nature, you know what I'm saying? So, but he just smiled and just had a huge smile on his face, would talk to everybody. And, I just thought it was cool to notice. You can tell the guys that want to be there and the guys that really don't want to be there.
But especially around their peers and stuff, like the other boys,
Ivan was so mafia. A lot of lingo, man. A lot of these cats today don't understand. Our business was like the mob, man. It was when I was getting into the business, it was literally like the mob. You didn't speak unless spoken to. You spoke out of tone, out of sync. You got your fucking head knocked off, or you got jacked up. I mean, I'm serious. I mean, a lot of these old timers won't tell you shit like this. I'm not an old timer, but I stretch imagination. And I'm no legend. I'm no star. Never had been. Never will be. But I've been there, done that. I've wrestled every fucking major name there is, except for Steve Austin. I even worked with The Rock, though. I worked with The Rock at a Battle Royal, Louisville, Kentucky, when he came in as Rocky Mount Biss. So thank God I got to work with him. But I got to work with everybody that I want to work with except for Brett. Except for the spot. Except for Brett.
Every time you say Bret Hart's name on here, it gets the boo click.
That's okay. I got to only time I worked with Brett's when they did the Bob Backlund thing, man. And what happened was, the thing to it was, like, they told me that after I trained with Bob that day. He says it's going to be me, you, and Brett trying to get this story across. And I said, that's cool, man. I was like, I was even in more fear then. I was like, oh, fuck.
Right.
We just got here 3 days.
Right.
And I had all the shit thrown on me. I'm 17 years old. Nobody knows my age now. We lied about my age.
Okay. Damn.
They didn't find out my age until like 2 weeks later. True story. But anyway, I want to say the agent that night, I know Pat was in on it. but I want to say Tony Gurriel was in on it too. Because Tony told me, do not look at the hard cam, do not look at the cameras until you get the win. And I said, what? I said, say what? He said, until you get the win, don't favor any cameras until we tell you to. The referee's going to tell you.
Wow.
He's going to tell you, look at the hard cam, look at the floor cam, because it's like at that time, there's 3 or 4 cameras you had to favor.
Right.
So that referee is telling me everything to do, bro.
Yeah.
It was on. This shit wasn't rehearsed. This was like
On the
you
fly.
hear it, right on the fly. Everything on the fly.
Right.
Match lasted maybe 3.5, 4 minutes. He got me in the chicken wing. I didn't get shit on him. He had the whole match. He got me in the chicken wing and won't let it go. And wouldn't let it go. Wouldn't let it go. And I'm fucking selling. I remember him screaming in my fucking ear. Sal. He said, Sal, goddammit, Sal. Sal. And I said, I'm selling, goddammit. I'm selling. Because he had, when I say he locked that goddamn chicken wing on, he was squeezing the fuck out of me. And if he didn't think he was selling, he wrenched it. And I sold. I had no damn choice. Break your fucking what you're worried about, your fucking shoulder. So I did exactly the way they told me.
Right.
And the bell rung. So I said, well, fuck, I thought I was going over. And so he said, just lay. He said, lay flat, don't move. Lay flat, don't move. Just sell your shoulder and neck. And I did that. The blue had already come down and made the save.
Mm-hmm.
So his back, Bob's back was to the owl. Bob's back was to the owl because he if he'd have saw Brett coming, would have made no sense. So, anyway, Bob's back. He got me down and he had to position himself. I remember him he had me in the chicken wing. He was trying to scoot me. I didn't know what the fuck he was doing, but he was trying to scoot a certain way so it wouldn't be obvious to the cameras that he was off a bit, because he was off a little bit.
Okay.
And but anyway, they made it look good on TV. They rang the bell. They said, by disqualification, the winner is. And they gave my name. It was my real name. And I was like, holy fuck, they did put me over.
Right.
I got $500.
Okay.
Damn.
I didn't get paid too.
Yeah.
Hey, I got $500, man. It was like maybe an hour or two later when I got paid, but I got $500 for that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Swear to God, I said, I've made it, guys. Somebody looked out for me. I don't know who it was. And that's how it all started. And the boys just started talking to me, and not like, being overly friendly or anything like that. Oh, you're going to get a job. None of that bullshit. Because a lot of guys like to get on here and they do podcasts and they like to stretch the truth more than what it is.
Yeah.
I ain't one of them fuckers. So I'm a worker, but I'm not a worker, and I'm not going to work you. I'm going to fucking tell it like it is. But in a nutshell, man, whoever looked out for me, thank you, because that helped me a lot. And, I'm very thankful. They gave me an opportunity that most people don't get to have, especially at 17. Right. And they found out my age, and they kayfabed my age. So like, fuck it, we'll keep him. He'll be 18 in July. It was July 1st when they found out. I worked Razor Ramon because they asked Scott would he work with me, and Scott said, hell yeah, I'll take the kid. So it was an easy night for him. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I think it was either me or Jeff Jarrett or somebody. I don't think Jarrett was there at the time. I don't think it was Jeff. Might have been Marty Jannetty, because Marty was there when I got there. He was Marty was in the night. So I won't say it was Jannetty. But Scott got me. Scott had me for about 4 minutes, 38 seconds. It's on. You can pull it up on Google or YouTube. You can pull up all these matches on YouTube. And so when I got through working with Scott, Scott said something. When I got to the gorilla, I was just waiting on him to tell him thank you. So when I come when he come back through the gorilla where I was standing, he was like, leave. Well, oh, shit, I must have fucking pissed him off. But he told me to leave for this reason. Because Pat Patterson come up to me a few minutes later and said, look, Scott just put you over bigger than shit, bro. You're going to be here for a little while. And I didn't get it. You know, and I got it when he said you're going to be here for a little while. I mean, I'm going to continue to get to work.
Oh, right.
So Scott Hall, I think it was Scott Hall, Kevin Nash, because I worked Kevin and Sean the next night in the tag team championship match. Well, it wasn't for the titles.
Dudes with attitude.
Yeah.
Dudes with attitude, yeah. It was me and Gilbert. It was me and Dwayne.
Dwayne Gill.
Yeah, Dwayne Gill. Working Sean and Kevin. And it was an easy, because Sean had a broken hand that night.
Mm-hmm.
He had broke it sometime that week, and he had broken it at the knuckle right here. And he bitched and whined, and he's a fucking pussy. But anyway, he bitched and whined about that fucking broke hand and got like a month off, but he still had to do the TVs.
Yeah.
He still had to show up and all that bullshit. He worked 2-3 seconds and tag Kevin in. And anyway, I worked with him twice. And tell you a little inside secret. Mabel, this one,
yeah.
he fucking hated Sean. Fucking hated him. So I'll kill that motherfucker.
Big Daddy V.
He'd have fucked Kevin Nash up. He'd fuck that whole locker room up. I'm telling you, he was a legit badass.
Yeah.
Only one he went there with him was Taker, probably Taker, and what's the old boy's name? Kama. Guy played Kama.
Oh, yeah, Godfather. Yeah.
Three motherfuckers there. They'd have whooped Viscer's ass, but Viscer was a good guy, man. I can't think of his real name. They all were good guys, but Sean was a fucking dickhead. But I know.
Like working with Owen.
Lovely. He let me wrestle him. He let me work him. He let me work him. He said, "Do what you want to do, baby." He said, "I'll call it, but you do it." And I did everything he told me to do. Everything. Cool. And I was yes sir, no sir to all them guys. They tell me to do something. Yes sir. Are you okay? Yes sir. Because sometimes they hit you and you just heat at the moment you get fucking hit.
Yeah.
Or you get kicked. Depends on who's coked up or who's pilled up.
And also this shit happens.
Yeah. This shit happens. Yeah. After I worked with Bob, I think he's smarting a lot of people up. This guy's a real shooter, motherfucker. Hooky. So, and Bob took care of me for the short time he was there. He would come and go. I think he did like one. I think he worked like twice a week or 3 times a week. I don't know how those contracts were because I never had a contract with him.
Right.
But a lot of those guys weren't there every day.
Right.
They weren't. I mean, a lot of those guys you would see whatever. If it was like at that time, it was Monday Night Raw. Because I worked Owen on a we couldn't jerk for Monday Night Raw, and we were opening, just getting the crowd warmed up.
Right. Okay.
First time I worked him, yeah. First time dark match. First time I ever worked him, we worked maybe 3.5 minutes.
Okay.
That was it.
In and out.
Then, I didn't work him again until like a month later. And he said I remember him patting me on the chest. Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. Thank you. That voice, that raspy voice. Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. And I said, "You're welcome, bud. You're welcome. You're welcome." And under my breath. So, but yeah, he was a character, man. He was a nice guy. He never ribbed me. None of the boys ribbed me. Samu Fatu, I got along great with those guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got along great with the Samoans. We smoked a lot of weed together. A lot of weed. I'm trying to get this light where you guys can see me. Anyway, can you guys see me good?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Anyway, only guys I really connected with or clicked with there was Aldo Montoya, Portuguese Man of War. Justin Incredible.
It's not just the coolest.
Yeah. Me and him clicked off the bat because he was kind of in the same shoe I was in. He was just getting there. They had just put that gimmick on him, and you know he was making money, but he wasn't making a lot of money. I remember he kept complaining. He's like, "I wish our money would go." A lot of guys didn't get paid a lot of money, man. Like they play it off to be today. You didn't make a lot of money unless you were a jobber or enhancement talents, as they say today. We're the only ones that really got paid up front. That's a fucking shoot. We got our money then. Now you get a per diem if you run a contract. And per diems at that time was $200. You could get $200 a day, and that's how most of them guys were living, bro.
Right.
Don't let them contracts fool you and that damn TV fool you, because them motherfuckers will lie to you. Them motherfuckers won't make no money. Kevin Nash will tell you they won't make no money. He's the only one. Okay, he's the only one that will shoot and tell you the truth. You know, that I've seen on podcasts. And I don't watch a lot of wrestling. I don't watch wrestling at all, to be honest with you. The only ones that had guaranteed contracts were Savage, Sean, Scott Hall didn't even have guaranteed. Savage, Sean, Perfect. The Samoans had somewhat of a guarantee. I'm talking about Alpha, Sika. Alpha, the daddy.
Yeah.
Them motherfuckers had guarantees regardless.
Their grandfather then.
Right. A lot of Bob Backlund had a guarantee. I don't know what they were making, but they were making damn good money. But the way that most of these guys made their difference was the pay-per-views. But you had to wait 90 days to get your money. I do know that. That's just hearsay. That's fact.
Right.
A lot of these guys getting they get their check 3 months later. But no, it was just thinking back. I'm just trying to think. Hardest guy to work with for me. Difficulty, just getting along with motherfucker. Was the fuck was his name? He don't even work there. He didn't last that long. Nails.
Yeah. You hear a lot of bad things about Nails. He choked out Vince McMahon, so you know he's crazy, like literally.
Yeah. But I didn't work him in WWE.
Okay.
I worked him on Independence.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Right after he got released. And he found out that I had been working for Vince, and I was talking to one of the promoters about how I liked it there, and I was having a great time learning because it was a learning curve. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he said, "You don't fucking work for them. You don't." So okay, but this motherfucker, I'm looking up at him as he's in my face, telling me, "You'll never make it there. You're too small." And at that time, I was a small guy. I was 6'1". At that time, I was like 205, 210. I didn't know anything about steroids or weights. Never even touched the weight. The only thing I ever done was amateur wrestle, jiu-jitsu, karate. I was in shape, but I wasn't in the gym training to be a bodybuilder.
Right, but you was really a certified badass though. Like really, for real. Yeah, you. I'm sure you was able to handle yourself, even in mentally. You're young, so it's like whatever. Somebody like Nails is huge or whatever, but just like with backing, you're a shooter. It's like,
if I had to, I'd have fucked him up, but I wouldn't have fucked him up. I wouldn't have fucked him up with my hands, but he got fucked up. This guy's huge. I don't know if you ever seen him in person. This guy's fucking
not in person. I remember on TV. I know TV don't do it justice, but I remember he's a big guy because he was feud with Boss Man and all that.
He was a legit tough guy, but he wasn't no shooter. I wouldn't have let him grab me. That's for damn sure.
Right.
But a lot of those guys, they're old school. At that time, everything was old school.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm smoking this cigarette, but anyway, I don't know, man. The business has changed so much over the years. It just makes me sick to my stomach. That's why I don't watch it. I don't have anything against any of these guys that do it today. Let me sit down so I see if I can get a better angle at my face for this light. I don't have a problem with any of these guys that do it today. I'm just not hip to their jive. If you want to consider wrestling real, you make it look real. You want it to be believable, you make it look believable. Today they do a shitty ass job because of the trainers that they have, the developmental bullshit that they go through. Now don't get me wrong, now they go through some hell, some torture in this fucking developmental, but they're not taught psychology first and foremost. They're not taught old school traditional ways.
Mm.
When I went to wrestling school, I got my ass beat every day, 7 days a week. I got my ass beat. Now, with Ivan's school, I trained Monday, Tuesdays, Wednesdays. Excuse me, take it back. Monday, Wednesday, Thursday. Off Friday, Saturdays, because Ivan, unless it was like early morning, he would take time with me himself. There was a guy actually there teaching the school. His name is Sean Powers.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get along with none of these people, man. Because they tried to punk me out, mark me out, act like they tried to treat me like I didn't deserve to be there, which I can understand in a way why they did it, but there was no need to do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So a lot of the times Ivan would work with me one-on-one himself. He would bring in a few people because I was going to quit. I wasn't going to quit because it was hard. I was going to quit because of the camaraderie, because of the bullshit that was going on when his eyes were looking the other way. They felt like I was getting preferential treatment because I was in school at the time. You know, right. I left high. I quit high school. A lot of people don't know this. I quit high school to go into pro wrestling.
Yeah.
And I even said, "Fuck no, we're not having that. We're not having that." You know, he didn't say those words, but he was like, "No, we're not having that. We're gonna go to school." So my mom and dad and Ivan. Ivan's the one that actually called the school in Chicago, Illinois. It's called American School of the Arts. And they had me they would send me my stuff in the mail, and I'd do it, you know, and send it, mail it back in. And in 8 weeks, I had my diploma.
Okay.
And I was, you know, because Ivan was adamant about education. He did not want me in the wrestling business.
Mm.
But yeah, in a nutshell, man, it was mafiosa, is what I call it. You wasn't having shit handed to you, even though I kind of did have something handed to me. I just didn't know it at the time.
Right.
If I knew now what I didn't know then, I'd be a star.
Yeah.
I'd have been a star. I mean, honestly, a lot, not all these guys. There was a few guys at the big time, the big level. I'm not gonna call their names because I want no lawsuits. That did the homosexual game. There was a lot of homosexual activity going on, and it really was. I never got into that, and I had to fucking prove my point one night. I will say this because the motherfucker's dead. Pat called me in my room. He called me up in my room. I was on the first floor. He was on the third floor. He said, "I need you to come up here and get your money." I was like, "I got paid already." So what money you talking about? And he's like, "Just come up and get your money. I got your money. I got extra money for you." So I didn't think about it. At that time, I didn't know that shit was going on. So I went up we were in Youngstown, Ohio. Never forget this. I went up to the room, knock on the door. He comes to the door. He don't have a shirt on. He's got shorts, boxer shorts on, socks. And that was kind of odd, you know.
Mm-hmm.
He said, "Come on in. I got this package for you." And I was like, "A package?" And he was like, he said, we had this conversation. I don't remember everything that was said. He said, "You know, if you want to make it in this business and you want to get ahead, you got to scratch my back and I got to scratch your back." Those the exact words he used. And I kind of knew where this was going. And I said, "Look, dude, where's my money? You don't have no money for me? I got to go." This motherfucker went in his wallet and gave me $200, handed it to me. I said, "What is this for first?"
Right.
He said, "You know, just for working tonight, you deserve extra." Only one other guy knows this story. This is the first time I ever told this story. Live. He said, "You deserve extra." He said, "Just remember what I said." Because I grabbed the money, took it, and walked to the door. He said, "Remember what I said. Scratch my back, I'll scratch yours." I took the $200, threw it, tore it in two, dropped it, walked the fuck out. I didn't work for a month.
Man.
I got sent the fuck home.
Wow.
True story. True story. And what got me back in the door was Ivan. Because I told Ivan what happened.
Okay.
Ivan was fucking furious, bro.
I mean, it's not like you haven't heard them stories be told since they've been telling that stuff since the 90s.
Yeah.
You know, and so yeah, man, that's crazy though. And he scratched your back. He didn't want you to scratch his back, that's for sure. It wasn't his back he was talking about, you know.
No. Man, but, I have witnessed a lot of things up there, but you know, since he's dead, you know, I can say that. But 2006, because I was invited to go back. They had found out I was doing the legit fighting and shit, and they wanted to test me out and try to give me a job. This first time they offered me developmental, and the money wasn't that good, so I turned it down. I was making more money in my real job, my shoot job. I said, "No, man, I got family. I'm not going to do that. It's not worth 60. I think it was 62 or $72,000. And at that time, I was making right at $100,000, literally. You know, I was making about $100,000, and I said, "Nah, man, it ain't worth that. You know, if you can double, or you can." I said, "If you can double," this is what I told John Laurinaitis. I said, "If you can double what I make at my shoot job, I'll talk to you." That's why I never signed with them, because they offered shit money. And I don't know. I don't know about those guys. But anyway, that's the first time that I had ever experienced a drug encounter, a drug offering, and I didn't partake in it. So it just wasn't my cup of tea.
Right.
And I just told him to go fuck yourself. I didn't want in a roundabout way. I don't know exactly what I said, but I said, "No, man, I don't want to do that shit, man." I said, "I don't do that shit." Because I knew first of all, I had morals, I had standards. I'm not going to say I have never tried drugs, because I've tried just about everything out there, except for heroin. Was never into that, you know, kind of shit, shooting shit. But at that particular time, with the way I was raised, the standards that I had or have today, still have,
right.
You know, I just wasn't my cup of tea, man. I just said, "Fuck you, man. I don't want nothing to do with it." Matter of fact, I told him, I said, "Don't fucking come back around me. You're going to have problems." You have problems. And he would have had problems. My family, you know, at that time, my mom and dad didn't want me in the business. But my family knew a lot of powerful fucking people. And still knows a lot of powerful people. I come from a well-to-do family. Had any and everything I ever wanted. But we weren't spoiled by no means. Anything we wanted, we had to earn. I just happened to grow up in a prominent family, and you know, but we were taught that if anything in life that you want, you got to work to get it. So I don't want anybody out there thinking that I'm better than anybody or anything like that. And I was handed shit because I wasn't. Wasn't like that. Everything that I ever got, I got on my own. So I just want to clear that up right off the rip.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Yeah, man. So did you stay? How long did you stay in the independence? Because, like I said, I know you said you got they tried to get you to come back in 2006. You was, that's damn near $30,000. That's a big pay cut, and to be on the road.
Right.
Yeah. Well, you got to understand. I was getting my first year with Vince. We were talking about this the other day, me and my brother. Because he was asking me, because I kept all my tax shit and everything from the years that I worked with him. Even though we did under the table money, they still sent you the I-9 and 1040 and all that bullshit. You still had to fill that out.
Yeah,
right.
They wasn't no getting around that.
Right.
So my first year with Vince, I probably made, and I'm shooting here, I'm being for real, probably 23,000. And then in between that, man, I was trying to go to college.
Right.
So, grant money and all that bullshit that they give you, the government gives you. Because I had a full scholarship. This is a crazy thing. I had a full scholarship ride, man, to go to Michigan, to Miami University, and Iowa State for the wrestling.
Okay.
Yeah, because you won 3 state titles.
I won 3 Tar Heel State Classic tournaments. That's higher than state titles. That's like that was open division men's league. I was a teenager.
Oh,
I was wrestling grown men. Yeah. Yeah. That's a fucking shoot. That's for real. Yeah. I mean, my hometown, man, I've never been famous, don't claim to be famous or any of that shit. When I won those titles back to back, and of course they're going to put it in the newspapers, local and state and all that bullshit. I was a fucking celebrity before I even got into wrestling. Like, as far as athletics.
Right.
I was considered, a fucking athlete. So that, that had a lot to do with me getting into the wrestling business as far as help. This kid can be something someday if you just give him a shot. It got me in the door.
Right.
But it didn't. It didn't, because it's politics, first and foremost. That's what a lot of these young kids don't understand. Wrestling is a business. It is a fucking business. And today it's a business times 20. And if you're not in the know, if you're not somebody before you get there, you're never going to be anybody. Or unless you got something that's fucking unique that attracts the eye, you got a mouthpiece, and I got the gift of gab all day long. That's one thing they never let me do. Because I talk shit with the best of them in the locker room. I talk motherfucking anybody under the table in that locker room. And they knew that. They knew that. And that's what Sean didn't like about me. Oh, goddamn. Tony Garea didn't like that shit. Because I was, at the beginning, I was Pat's boy. You got to understand, I was Pat Patterson's boy, so to speak. I was his guy. I'm the new kid on the block. But when I did what I did, when I did what I did, I fucked up everything. And I did it for the right reasons.
Right.
Even though I was 18, I just turned 18. Even though I was young, green, I wasn't no fucking moron. I knew what the fuck he was.
You know what he was trying to do. Yeah.
When I walked
like Backlund said, chicken.
When I walked into his room, bro, I felt an uneasy spirit.
Yeah.
The devil will fuck with you in so many ways and he'll give you. The devil acts like he's God sometimes. He'll tempt you at times, is what I'm saying. And he'll give you things or offer you things to see if you'll take that shit. You got to live with that choice for the rest of your life.
Right.
So did you get it? Did you get what you got? Meaning that career through hard work, dedication, loyalty, and as John Cena says, hustle and respect. Or did you get it by, sucking a dick, bending over? And I wasn't one of those guys, and I wasn't gonna be your boy.
Right.
I'll fuck you up first. And those guys knew I would. They knew because they've seen me in bar fights. Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, how cool.
Ask Robert gets him if I can't fight. I'll be fighting 2 or 3 motherfuckers at one time. Kid Cash will tell you that. David Cash.
Kid Cash. Yeah.
Me and Kid Cash. Ask him, bring him on the show. I'll do a fucking pod with him. Me and Kid Cash cleared out a whole fucking bar, bro. Just him and me. we 20 motherfuckers by ourselves. Tony Hunter, Leilani Kai, vouch for it. They were there. We fucked them boys up. All because I was with a black girl. My son, I have a biracial son, and I wanted to marry that girl. I fell in love with that woman.
It was a dark journey. Dick Slater will chase you.
We went to the wrong place at the wrong motherfucking time with the wrong girl.
Okay.
But I was with her 15 years. I was with her a long time. Jacksonville, North Carolina. That's where we were at. I said, man, and I was fucked up too, bro. I was drinking. I said, David. I said, watch my back. I said, get behind me and walk me to the door. Get behind me so nobody can get to me. Because they was wanting to fucking fight. Right. And I said, just walk me to the door, bro. Well, David had a gun on.
Oh.
I didn't know David had a gun on. And he said, he showed me his fanny pack. He wore a fanny pack everywhere he went. He did this. He put it down. I looked in there. I said, 38. I said, no. I said, we leaving, bro. Well, the next thing I know, this dude come across his shoulder and hit me.
Right man.
Man, when he did that, before I could even throw a punch, he had already elbowed that motherfucker. I'm gonna tell you something, David is a natural born fucking fighter.
Wow.
We whooped them motherfuckers like we owned them. They was coming and we was knocking them down, bro. Bow, laying their ass out. And hey, the goddamn sheriff department and the police department come out there.
Yeah.
We told our side of the story. They were gonna lock us up. We in Redneckville, North Carolina, Jacksonville.
Yeah.
So I told the sheriffs what happened. They pulled David to the side. They asked him what happened. He told the identical, exact same motherfucking story. And just so happened, the promoter shows up, who happened to be the mayor.
What? It sounds like that movie Porky.
Right. Y'all didn't go to jail that night.
No, we didn't go to jail. We went the fuck home. Because that mayor got us outside of our car. He said, I'm following you to the county line, and you don't ever come back here again.
Like Porky.
And we were booked the next week, bro. And he said, no, fuck that. You don't come back here. Ask David. You ever get David on this podcast, he'll tell you some story.
Damn.
Well, check this out. Let's switch gears for a minute and let's talk about Abdullah for a minute.
Sure.
I know
that's my love. That's who I call my love.
Mm-hmm. I know how close you are. I've talked to you. I've seen y'all interact. And he's in bad shape right now. And I know you've been having some issues with a gentleman. And I'm gonna just let you go ahead and just say what you got to say.
Yeah, man. I've got three people in the wrestling business that are my life. Robert Gibson. Number one, Robert Gibson. Ivan Koloff. Abdul the Butcher.
That's a hell of a lineup.
Hell lineup. Yeah. I've been with Abby the longest. But Abby's the one that really schooled me on the business end of everything. Abby didn't want me going to WWE. He said, I want you to go to Japan. He raised hell about that. He was mad at a motherfucker. He was mad at a motherfucker. He had talked to me for a year. Because he had plans when I graduated. I didn't know this. This is the only thing that pissed me off with Ivan. And I forgive him. Abby said, get him trained. I want to take him over to Anoki's dojo and get him signed up and get him in the dojo. He said, I see a lot of potential in this guy. And the reason I know this story so well, because he's told me to my face 1,000 times. In heat. He's fucking still pissed to this day. But he said, I want to go get him in Anoki's dojo. But at the time, they didn't really have a lot of independence over there. Maybe one, maybe two. But they were like mafioso. It was something the mob put together. The Yakuza. Shit that they put together to try and make extra money. Because they own everything any fucking way. And he was going to get me in with those promotions, work me up to go to the dojo. That's the process you had to go through at that time.
Okay.
If you went through Abby. Because Abby wanted you to learn how to work.
Right.
And the money was good. I mean, you got good money, but not like Anoki. You make a living, but you're still going to learn the business. And you're gonna make a living, but you're gonna get by, and you're gonna learn the ropes, literally. And that's what he wanted. I didn't know this. If I had known then what I know now, I'd have never went to WWE. I really wouldn't. I'd have went straight to Japan. I probably would have stayed there. I mean, but it is what it is. Yeah, I've got a situation. Well, I don't have a situation. There's a guy named Devin. I can't think of his Nicholson or some shit like that. Hannibal TV. He runs that bullshit. And he claims he caught hepatitis C from Abby, which I know is a motherfucking lie. A motherfucking lie. Has Abby ever had it? Yes. But that was like 10 years before this ever came the fuck up. But he took the medicine. It was too late when he took the meds because they thought his eyes were getting yellow. So he wanted to know what the fuck was going on, why his eyes were getting yellow and shit. And he wasn't feeling too good. So he went and got checked out. At this time, they had this new drug that's come out from Italy or some bullshit like that. And they finally, it took like weeks and weeks and weeks, man, to get rid of it. You know, we're fucking short term like now, 6 weeks. They gave you some medicine now. If they give it to you today, it's like 6 weeks or 8 weeks and you're good. You're talking like early 2000s. And I think when this happened was around, I'm not sure of the time frame, but when he wrestled this guy. But anyway, he says that Abby gave it to him. Well, if that's the case, bro, I wrestled him around that same time period and prior to that. And a lot of my friends did overseas. Carlos Colon wrestled him 1,000 times or more. All these fucking names who could have come forward and said, well, I wrestled him and bled and I ain't got it. You know, the whole truth's not being spoken.
Right.
The whole truth is not being spoken. This motherfucker, I've seen the court documents because I know law. I'm in law. I graduated from law school. I know how to get that shit. The transcripts is what I'm talking about. Yes, it was said he did have it one time, but he didn't have it at that time. How the fuck you gonna find somebody guilty if he didn't have it then, and you couldn't prove it that he had it then? You're going off something that happened 10 years or 12 years earlier. How the fuck you gonna say he gave him that?
Yeah, I think it was 07 when they
07?
wrestled. Yeah, 07, and I think they had 5 or 6 matches, and they were really talked good about each other and had a good camaraderie through their matches.
Yeah,
and then he contracted or whatever, and I think the ruling happened in like 2014.
Yeah, it did.
I mean, I looked it up when we talked and everything, and skimmed over it a little bit. But like I said, I know that Hannibal or Hannibal TV, whatever you want to call him, he won the lawsuit or whatever in Canada, because that's based out of Canada. Yeah. But he doesn't even have it anymore. So he doesn't. Right.
He doesn't. I can't find his medical records. I'd love to see them, but I've seen all of Abby's medical records. When he passes away, I'm gonna fucking show those medical records. I'm not gonna do it now, but I know the motherfucking truth, and I'm gonna put this motherfucker where he needs to be. Whether it's in a ring, in a cage, on the street. If I ever run into this guy, slander, you don't go around slandering somebody's name first and foremost. Defamation of character. Abby could have sued him many, many moons ago, but he didn't. He said, fuck it, let the kid do what he wants to do. He thought Abby had a bunch of money. Everybody thought Abby was a fucking multi-millionaire. Abby was not a multi-fucking-millionaire. He had money, but he wasn't a fucking millionaire. Abby spent more money on people that he cared about than he did his damn self. He spent more money on them than he spent on himself. I was with him when he'd go do Christmas, Thanksgiving, and buy children toys, buy turkeys at fucking Thanksgiving and food for fucking families that didn't have anything. He never took care of people that had a father, though. He always took care of the mothers that didn't have the daddy. That's a fact. Single mothers. That hit his heart the most. Abby has given away. He's made millions, but he's given away millions. So if motherfuckers want to talk and tell the fucking truth or tell fucking lies and speak shit that they don't know about, I know what the man has done. Chad Driggers knows what the man's done. Because I was fucking there. Not every time, but I was there. Most of the time I was with him. And he would pay me to go help him. And I wouldn't take the money. I'd give it to whoever needed it. I would give that money away. And he would give me a lot of money, $150, $200, because I was in North Carolina at the time, and I'd drive to Atlanta, and I'd help him every Thanksgiving, every Christmas, because he didn't have a lot of help. And the people that he did have helping were running his businesses, which he did have businesses and he owned. Abby didn't want a lot of people in his fucking business, first and foremost. He didn't want others to know what the fuck he was doing. Because that's between him and God. When I fucking go, excuse my language, when I pray to God, I go into a private place. I go into a room by myself because I don't want nobody knowing what I'm doing when I'm praying to my God. That's between me and him. So whatever Abby did for others and however he spent his money, that's his fucking business. And he fucking did that. I know for a fact. And whatever he does between him, those people, and God is his fucking business. So Devin, if you want to talk about some motherfucking shit, bro, and you want to be real and you want to be big boy, motherfucker, I ain't hard to find. And you want to talk some shit, bitch, be a man. Be a man, accept my challenge. Accept my challenge. A real fucking fight, bro. You whoop my ass. Hey, you whoop my ass. But motherfucker, you gonna know I'm there. But I don't think you can whoop my ass. Matter of fact, I know you can't whoop my ass. I got $5,000. You put your $5,000 up against my $5,000. We'll do it in Atlanta, Georgia, so Abdullah can see me whoop your motherfucking ass. We'll have lawyers sign up their agreements, legit contracts, and winner take all. That's not a hard fucking deal, bro. It's not a hard fucking. Give me 3 rounds, bro. 3-minute rounds with your ass. Because you ain't a pro. You go around telling about you a motherfucking pro MMA fighter. Motherfucker, I'm a pro. 4 undefeated world title fights. Right here, bitch. 13 amateur fights. Out of the 13, 1 loss due to decision and 1 for disqualification because I wouldn't stop beating the guy's ass. So, motherfucker, if you want to know more about me, you can hey, I'll give you my goddamn phone number. Shoot me an email. We can talk, bitch. Any way you want to do it. Have your lawyer contact me or my lawyer, and we'll fucking get it done. Quit being a motherfucking punk pussy, a keyboard warrior, and fucking man up, fess up, and talk that shit to me, bro. I'm 6'1", 265 pounds, a fucking real deal. I will fuck you up, bro. You have no idea who you fuck with when you fuck with Abdul the Butcher. And there's more than me out there, bro, that want to fuck you up. But I only want to fuck you up in the ring. I don't want to fuck you up on the street. If I see you on the street, I'm not going to bother you. But I'm going to fucking walk up to you and let you know I'm there. I ain't going to fuck with you in your private time. Be a fucking athlete. Be a fucking fighter. Man up and fucking sign a contract with me. Get in the goddamn ring or cage in Atlanta, Georgia. And motherfucker will roll the dice. Somebody gonna walk out. As they say, 2 man enter, 1 man leave, bitch. Fuck you, bro. You're a fucking punk. You Canadian Canuck. You know what the fuck that means, don't you? You Canuck. Put up or shut up, bitch. Put up or shut up.
Let me ask you this real quick, because if you know, Hannibal TV is that he's known for, he was a worker or whatever, but he's known for the shoot interviews and basically for this right here. He got to fighting with Macho Man's brother.
Work.
The one, oh, that was a word.
Work.
Oh. Well, that's what he's known for. I mean, the shoot interviews and stuff like that.
Talk to Randy. Talk to Randy. Talk to Randy. I talked to Lanny before he died. You know how much he paid him to do that? $2,500, not counting his $750 he charged to work.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a fucking work. Yeah.
But I know the fact is that he's still bringing the stuff up, and I know that's the problem that you have. Like, you're trying to get views off of bringing that stuff up. Even though this is 2014, you know, since he's had the court thing, but now he's talking about because you know, Abdullah's sick and making remarks about stuff like that. So I'm sure that's the reason why you're pissed.
I'm fucking furious, bro.
Yeah.
He should meet my brother. He thinks I'm pissed off. I got a whole family of motherfuckers want his ass. And the thing that saddens me, man, these motherfuckers that claim to be Abby's friend won't step to the plate and say something to this motherfucker, pull him to the side. I got something for all you old time motherfuckers. Fuck you, bro. You ain't worth the fuck. You don't need to be in the business. You should have been when you got in the business, because you're motherfucking half of you cowards. Come on, I'm a wrestler. I'm a pro. I'm a shooter. Motherfucker, you couldn't shoot a gun if I gave it to you and taught you how to do it. Every one of you motherfuckers. I'm Abby's friend. Tony Atlas. Fuck you too, Tony. Don't use Abby. Every one of you motherfuckers use Abby. Every one of you motherfuckers know who I'm talking to. You got a problem? You know where I'm at. Fuck them. All these motherfuckers going around saying they wrestlers. Fuck you motherfuckers. Old school's dead. Not here, motherfucker. But it's dead with you motherfuckers, because the boys don't defend the boys no more. The boys don't protect the boys no more. That's the dying art of the business. Fuck kayfabe. Everybody knows it's fucking work. Everybody knows it's a fucking work. But there's a brotherhood in this business. That shit's dead, man. That shit's been dead for years. But true legends, Robert Gibson's a true legend. Kevin Sullivan, when he was breathing, he was a true legend. Ricky Morton, still true legend. Backlund, true. Razor was alive, true. Kevin Nash is one of the boys. Fuck Shawn Michaels. Fuck Bret Hart. I love you, Owen. You know, all these motherfuckers want to say, well, we're legit and we're this and we're that. No, motherfucker, you was suck ups, kiss asses, and want to be on TV every week and want to be famous. I didn't get in this goddamn business to be famous or be rich. I got in the fucking business because I love it. I got in the business because I grew up in it. I wanted to be a part of it. I wanted to have something I belonged to. I wanted to have something that was real. You know, if you was in a motorcycle gang, or say just I'm not gonna say no names, call no groups. Well, if you was in a club and you fuck one of the boys, you going swimming. Going swimming. That's how I roll. Hannibal, motherfucker. That's how I roll. Believe that. Believe that. That's how I fucking roll. So you want to fuck with Michael? Sign the contract, bro. And when you get there and you see all those leather vests with a certain logo on it, you're going to wish you never showed. Don't think you can't be found, bro. I ain't threatening you. I'm just letting you know what's capable, what's possible. You fucking around fucking with the wrong people, bro. I ain't saying I'm going to do anything. Because I ain't. I don't want to. Not on the street. Because I got better motherfucking sense than that. But motherfucker, sign the contract. Get in the fucking ring. Get in the goddamn cage. And I'll fuck you up. On the legal side of things. I'll fuck you up. But your name's got to be signed in ink, bro. Or we can do it blood either way. But you fucked yourself, bro. You got a lot of enemies out there. You just don't know it. But I don't want to hurt this man, as in harm him. I don't roll like that on the street. I want his ass where people can see it, pay-per-view, free admission, so all the popcorn loving, Coca-Cola drinking fans can see me fuck him up. I mean, it's fair, right? You want to talk all this motherfucking shit? Well, motherfucker, come talking to me. I'm a grown-ass man, bro. You a punk bitch. You wouldn't last a day in prison, bro. You be somebody's bitch. You be somebody's bitch. You want to talk real talk, motherfucker? You want to talk hood talk? You want to talk dirt? Come to my neck of the woods. I may have a silver spoon in my mouth, bitch, but I was raised up very motherfucking rough. I got rough edges. I got rough edges, bitch. Let that be. Hey, put that in your motherfucking pipe and smoke it. Fucking pussy. You're a motherfucking pussy, bro. You want to talk shit about a man that's sick? Claim he's dying. I talked to Abby the other day. He's in his right motherfucking mind. He's ready to go home. He's a little pissed off and he's still up there at that goddamn clinic because they're trying to get his wound healed. But other than that, Abby's fine. And that's a motherfucking shoot. But Abby told me to tell you this. You're getting your ass whooped one way or another. Whether it be Michael Youngblood or somebody else that loves Abby. Son, you just don't know how bad you have fucked up. But Abby says hello, by the way. That's the message Abby told me to give you. Devin, Kevin, whatever the fuck your name is. Hannibal. I'm the cannibal. I'll eat your ass. How about them apples? I'll tell you this. Abby says hello. He hopes you have a great life. And you got some shit coming to you. That's all I can tell you. You fucked up, bro. That's all I'm going to say. It ain't me you got to worry about. I just want to fight you in the ring, bro. For real. But you got a lot of motherfuckers want your ass. Like, really want your ass. You fuck with the mob, the real mob. You didn't think Ab was the mob, motherfucker? Now you know.
Well, listen here, Mike. Hey, Mike, I'm gonna cut you right there. I think that's the perfect time to end and wrap it up, man. I appreciate you being on here. I'm glad you got to say what you wanted to say. If this goes anywhere, we'll definitely be covering it. Definitely want to have you back on. We can shoot the shit and not have to talk about something so negative, man. Have a good time and laugh and cut up a little bit. But I definitely I feel where you're coming from, so I ain't mad at you a bit. You know, like you said, that's your guy. You know what I'm saying?
That's my love, man. That's my love. That's like my dad. That's like my dad, man. You know, it's like my dad. Bottom line. You know, I don't wish harm on.
Oh, you done froze up.
They froze up.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna cut it out of here. But that was Mike Youngblood, former WWE, TNA wrestler, like I said, wrestled in Japan, been all over the place, man. And just came on here and really spoke his mind. Like we will reiterate that everything that he did say is his own opinion, his own facts. That's all him has. It has nothing to do with Welcome to Wrasslin. But Mike, we appreciate you, man. Can't wait to have you back on again. And hey, bro, welcome to Wrasslin. It's been a while.
Welcome to Wrasslin.
Welcome to Wrasslin. Mike, if you can hear me, don't hang up, buddy. We're gonna talk to you for a second. Yeah, he gone now. Hey. Boy, I will talk to you in a minute. It's Welcome to Wrasslin.
Welcome to Wrasslin, Chetty Bobby. Welcome to Wrasslin with Big E and the PODCAST, tag champs of the whole world, slamming like a DDT. Got it like just like a figure four. Hulk Hogan, all they do is flex. Talking wrestling while they get the dough. Off the top like a superplex. Think they letting up? Hell no. Dusty Rose with the elbow. From the corner like a stinging splash straight to the face. I know you felt those. Hey, y'all crying out for help though. Rising up like the dead man. About to go upside your head like Stone Cold with the bedpan. Bottom line, if you want the facts, welcome to Wrestling where you need to be. Chetty Bobby, this show improve like John Cena, you ain't seeing me. Bottom line, if you want the facts, welcome to Wrestling where you need to be. Chetty Bobby, this show improve like John Cena, you ain't seeing me.